So Michael's primary message is that we are entering a time when there would be a greater and greater power of love on the earth, and that we would be very well served to be aware in every decision we make to make the choice of love and not the choice of fear. And if you reflect on that, with almost any decision you make, there's a choice that's expansive, it brings greater consciousness, it's for the greater good, for the higher good of you and everyone else. Or the decision is based in fear to avoid something that might be painful or a loss. So it was an exercise, a practice in becoming very aware of how we're making each decision. But Michael went on to communicate out to us that the times would also have greater fear and greater darkness, that the love would become stronger and stronger, and simultaneously the fear stronger and stronger. And this was just before the first Iraq War. And that's part of what was really had everyone in great concern. So what we were really given was this experience that by choosing love, we gather together with other people choosing love, and it's extremely powerful. It guides our decisions, it guides our course of actions, it guides all the outcomes that we receive. And we were also counseled to not be overly concerned with people choosing fear. That fear choice ultimately results in experiences, things happening in life that cause a person to turn back to their own higher self, to their soul, to source, through the pain and the suffering, the difficulty that fear brings. It was a very unifying experience. We all felt very uplifted, much more peaceful. And after this happened, people in the group asked, "Can we do that again next week?" Can we do it again next week? And I said, "I have no idea how we did it this week." So please don't count on it. And we took it as sort of a one-time miraculous happening that we all felt very blessed to be there. And the next week we gathered to do our meditation, and there was the presence of angels again. And this time it was Archangel Gabriel that came through and came into us. And I again thought this is a one-time occurrence, and people asked, will we do that again next week? And long story short, that continued on for about a year. And each week, I never expected it to happen again. And finally, after a while, I realized it would probably keep happening, but I wasn't making a big investment in it. So I was really contrasting that with a scientific approach. I've always been interested in science, and I did study computer science, worked in aerospace on satellites and things. And that's part of what has always kept my interest in traditional medicine, as it blends more and more with holistic medicine. I've had an opportunity to work in large healthcare systems and small clinics, and more and more I see this awareness in people who are willing to look at whatever disease they're encountering, whatever state of illness, as something deeper than a physical malady, that it's connected to something bigger than the illness itself. And I find that when people are willing to do that, many more options become available to them. And we generally meet this at whatever place we're ready and prepared to meet it. One of the experiences I had 3 or 4 months before that angel experience is I was running at Torrey Pines, which was one of my favorite places to go running. I like to run up and down the hills, on the paths, on the steps. And as I was running downhill, I hit this loose step and took a really bad fall. I actually thought I was going to fall off the side of the cliff. So I landed badly, hurt my leg, didn't break it, but really could not walk on it or move with it. And it took a long time for that injury to heal. My traditional doctor couldn't figure it out, and finally suggested that I try someone that did this thing called energy medicine, which I at the time hadn't heard of. So I was very open to it. I accepted the referral, and I met a woman from Germany who was both an acupuncturist and an energy healer and studying to be a naturopathic doctor. And she asked me a question. She said, "Christopher, what is your leg trying to tell you?" And I said, "It's telling me it hurts like crazy and it won't heal." And so she paused for a minute and said, "Do you think you could go deeper with that answer?" And so just that reflection on what could this injury really be about, what could it mean to me? And I had a revelation that it was related to an issue of asking for help in life. And as soon as I had that realization, the process of acupuncture, the other things that she was doing, caused the healing to progress, and then it healed quite quickly. So that was a powerful experience to have, and I've found as I've worked in clinics and healthcare systems that the people who are willing to ask that question get answers of a higher order. And those answers meet us at the level of consciousness that we're at when we ask the question. But by asking the question, we're already starting on a journey into a higher consciousness, higher awareness, where better answers become available to us.